Hey, I'm Alex from the NCNN News, and today I'll be talking about snakes shedding. So, right in this tank in front of you, come here. This is Sunny, my ball python. He is under a year old and still growing quite a bit. So, if you have a snake, I'm assuming you know what snake shedding means, but I'll briefly explain what snake shedding is anyway. So your snake will shed every so often. It depends on its age. So when it's a baby, it'll shed a lot. So like I said, he's under a year old, so he has shed like 5 times maybe. So he sheds once every 1 or 2 months. And then as they get older, when they start slowing down their growth period, they won't shed as often. So what happens is as they grow, their skin no longer fits them, so it pulls off, and then underneath is a nice fresh coat. So how to tell if your python is about to shed? So one of the easiest ways to tell is if you look at his eyes, they will be extremely foggy, like you see here. And this is because that layer of skin also goes over his eye, so that's going to pop off. If that does not come off while he's shedding, that can be a problem. If it stays on his eyes for too long, it can actually cause blindness, but that's not too common. But if it does not come off, sometimes you're able to just take something, maybe a little wet, like a little paper towel, and just tap it and it should come off. But there's other ways to do that too, and you can easily find that online. Other ways to tell, his skin will be very dull, and the reason it is dull is because that skin has already began to pop off, so you're kind of looking through that skin. So some things you should be careful about when a snake is going through shed. So he's really deep in shed, his eyes are extremely foggy. One thing is there's a bigger chance that they'll bite you, just because he might get scared because he cannot see very well. It's all foggy for his sight. So it might be hard for him to see, which means that he might either think your hand is food or something, and he might try and bite it and eat it, or he may just get really scared and don't know what that is, so he just bites to be safe. Bites are not a big deal, so you should be fine depending on what type of snake you have. Something else is they might be a bit harder to feed, just because it might take a few more strikes than usual, because he can't exactly see it because of his heat sensing pits, which is just in pythons, but all snakes have different ways of sensing heat. He should be able to eat it eventually. If he ever does take too long, you can just lay the mouse in the tank and I'll probably find it eventually, wherever at or whatever you feed them. So if a snake is like this, he's super dull and his eyes are really foggy and for a long time, there could be a few different problems. One might be that the humidity in your tank is too low. So what I do for this, I'm just going to put him here so I can show you. This right here is my rectifogger humidifier. What this does is it you fill this with water. This part's empty, but there's water in here, so it'll work. And what you do is you turn this on, and as you see, fog comes out. So this fog, it heats up. There's a heater in here, and you put it into the tank. And when you do that, the humidification comes up. Now you probably want a humidification gauge. Here's one I'm not using right now. This one's just from Petco, and all it does is show you the humidification. You can also get some that show the temperature too. I have one of those. And so all this is just fog from the water. And you can just put this in the tank, you can put it on top of the screen, and it will go in and bring the humidification up. And so sometimes, or one of the times he was shedding, the shed wasn't coming out. So I just put this on, a few hours later it was totally cleaned off. Another problem might be that you don't have good things in your tank to get rid of that shed, or for him to rub that shed off, because he has to rub it off. In his tank, he's able to rub it off in his food bowl, and he has different rocks in there. So if it doesn't seem to be coming off, turn the humidification up and get some rocks in there, or something rough for them to rub against. Not sharp though, you don't want him to cut himself. So the humidifier is about $60 or $70, but it's really good. It's important to have, and I use them for my python, and for my American toads, and a multitude of my other animals. So I think that is about it. The last thing I will do is show you the different sheds I have from him and other snakes that I found the sheds of outside and stuff. If you have any other questions, you can email us at ncnnews@gmail.com, or you can comment on this video on YouTube, and I will be sure to reply. Okay, so what I have right here are two different snake sheds that I have. This one right here is from Sunny, my ball python that I just showed you. I like just keeping the sheds because they're really cool looking. As you see, this one's in a lot of pieces. He had a tiny bit of trouble getting this one off, but it all went well. And yeah, so this is what it looks like when it'll come off. You'll find this in his tank, or the terrarium, whatever you keep them in. And then this one, this is different. I actually found this out in the woods behind my house, and it's probably from an eastern king snake. I'm not totally sure. That's just because there is an eastern king snake living around here about this size. So look at this. The king snake got this whole shed off in one pull. It was in grass, so it was just all spread out in the grass. And as he went, it would have just started coming off, starting here, and he pulled all the way out of it. You can see the eyes there, the little eye caps, which come off with the shed. And yeah, so it just comes off the whole body. Then once it's off, it's a nice, shiny, and beautiful looking snake. Also, one last thing I forgot to talk about is if your snake the shed still isn't coming off after bringing up the humidity, putting rocks in, different things it can rub on, you can actually help it shed. You can do something like take a wet paper towel and very carefully pull it down his body. You have to be super careful while doing this. Just a little piece of dirt. Because you do not want to harm his skin or hurt him in any way. And then I told you how to get the eye caps off if that doesn't work. There's other ways to do this. You can find them on YouTube, online, and other places. But I hope this video helped. I hope you learned something. Thank you for watching this video. If you like, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Google+, and Instagram at NCNnews. And if you have any other questions, please email us at ncnnews@gmail.com. Thanks for watching.